Yeah, Arsenal fans are getting excited, but as Wrighty says, I know it's early days, but they have a right to be, don't they?
Of course, when you start the season like that, scoring goals, not conceding, playing the right way, with the new signings. So, of course, you're going to get excited, top of the league. So, yeah, there's signs there. But, it's only, 3 games in. A lot of football to be played. I'm sure the manager will want consistency. Can you do it in the next game and in the next game? What's important in that? But so far, yeah, fantastic start.
And I think as well, Steve, is that I think they'll learn a lot from last season. Remember, last season they had 3 games they started. It was a tough start. Brentford was tough, and then they had Chelsea, Man City. Lost the 3 games, and I think they'll learn a lot from the experience of that. They won't take anything for granted, but from a fan's point of view, you've got to be excited about the way it's changing.
OK, so an eventful Saturday is closed in the Premier League. It all began, of course, with the other team from North London getting another home win. Not as straightforward as the first one, though, but they beat Wolves in the end, thanks to a Harry Kane goal to 0. Crystal Palace off and running. They build on that point at Anfield with a 3-1 home win against Aston Villa. 2 defeats already this season, both away from home for Villa and Steven Gerrard. Everton have their first point, courtesy of a Damari Gray equaliser at home to Nottingham Forest. Brentford were 2 down, got back to 2-2 and lost it in the last minute. Alexander Mitrovic, Fulham's first win back in the Premier League. Leicester only have 1 point from 3 games. They lost 2-1 at home to Southampton, their first win of the season for Ralph Hasenhüttl's side. And we've just watched Arsenal beat Bournemouth comfortably by 3-0. 3 more games to bring your matchday live. Tomorrow, Chelsea's visit to Leeds is our main game. We'll keep you bang up to date with West Ham against Brighton. And then the champions, Manchester City, are on Tyneside to play Newcastle. And, of course, as if you needed reminding, to finish off the Premier League weekend, Old Trafford. Goodness me, what will happen there as the old rivals are reunited, Manchester United and Liverpool. So, for Arsenal fans, here's your Saturday screenshot. Played 3, won 3, goal difference +7, 9 points more than they had at this stage last season, of course, where they hadn't even scored a goal. Spurs right behind them on 7, and City with the opportunity, as I say, to make it 9 points of 9 as well as they go to Newcastle on Sunday. Newly promoted Fulham, unbeaten so far, 5 points from 9 for their start. So that leaves just 2 teams without a point on the board. They've both only played 2 games, of course, and they're both in action on Sunday. West Ham and Manchester United. Leicester, Wolves and Everton with 1 point from a possible 9. The last time Martin Ødegaard scored 2 goals in a game, he was 15 in Norway. He'll certainly remember today. And here are the post-match thoughts of the 2-goal hero and the new permanent captain of Arsenal.
Martin, very well done today. Just sum up for us how good a performance that was from Arsenal.
I think it was really solid from start to the end. I think we come out and we dominate the game completely. We create some good chances, we score some good goals, and yeah, it looks good, looks solid. So I'm really happy for the 3 points again. So we have to keep going.
Pretty much the perfect start, 2 up after 11 minutes. Did the manager stress the importance coming here of getting out of the blocks quickly?
Yeah, of course, we know it's always difficult to come these places, and we've struggled before in these kind of games, and today was a lot better, and I think from the start we were so sharp and so aggressive, and it was a good performance from start to finish.
2 goals for you. You got 7 in all of last season. Are you looking to add more goals to your own game?
Yeah, always looking to improve, so hopefully can improve from last season and help the team even more. So that's the aim.
Has Gabriel Jesus forgiven you for taking the ball right off his toe for that second goal?
Yeah, it's okay with it. He said I was in a better position, so he was fine. And I tried to give him one back, but unfortunately it was close offside there in the end. But that's football.
So much already spoken about Gabriel Jesus, but his part in your first goal, in the build-up to that first goal, was that another classic example of what he is all about? Yeah, absolutely. I think he's not just about the goals. He gives us so much in the play as well, and he drops down to combine, and he's brilliant in a lot of phases in the game. So it's amazing to play with him, and we're really lucky to have him here. Well, congratulations! 3 games in, Arsenal are now top of the league. How much stronger do you feel you are for the players who've come in? No, if you compare to last season, we're a little bit ahead at the moment. It looks good, but we have to stay calm. We have to stay humble, keep working hard, and
take it game by game, and then we'll see where it takes us. But we're happy at the moment.
Martin, well done.
Yeah, terrific day for him personally and for Arsenal. So let's look at his goals and let's look at the role of Gabriel Jesus in that first goal that he was talking about there.
Yeah, because obviously you talk about your number 9 being a focal point, being strong, so strong there, and you think he's just going to lay it off. Gets across Lerma here and he gets in the position. This is really clever. That reverse pass is clever. Top players do that, and then you get a little bit luck, comes off the goalkeeper, and Odegaard gets the.
What it is as well, Jay, is like once he's got the ball here, he's looking to commit players.
Yeah.
You like to see the Bournemouth players be a little bit more, like professional in their challenges, but he's just going past them and he's committing people. So in the end, Gabriel Martinelli gets the space and then Odegaard gets the tap in. But this is all about a centre forward, a focal point, like you say, just taking the game by the scruff of the neck and breaking lines with quality play.
That reverse pass was brilliant as well. Just have that awareness. So I thought he was going to shoot, and there's just that reverse pass. It's just brilliant.
And you can hear from the captain there what Jesus has done to the dressing room.
Yeah.
Not just his goals, but his all-round personality and character and mentality.
Yeah, but Steve, you get him and Zinchenko coming in, 8 medals, 8 Premier League medals. They're not coming into that dressing room to pose about. They're coming in to make a difference to mentality. And that's what people, like I say, point the finger at Arsenal in leaders and mentality and strength. And what they've showed them to have come in there and they've given that.
And the hunger that they've brought as well.
No, I think it's about standards, to be honest. These players that have been there and have won trophies, they understand that the standards, not just one game, but can you do it the next game and having that consistency, doing it on the training pitch, day in, day out. And players that won things, that's what they bring to a dressing room.
Second goal, you were convinced it was onside right from the start, of course.
Yeah, I thought it was onside. I didn't think they needed to look at this one. But like there's again, this is what you want in respects of, like I say, that they weren't closing down Arsenal very well. Poor play from Lerma there. And then once this comes in, you've got Jesus who's got enough time to take a touch, and it was a heavy touch, and there weren't anybody there to tackle. We could see there he's onside, but and then Martin Odegaard, who again, we're seeing him in the box, Xhaka is in the box, Jesus, there's like 5 players in the box there for Arsenal, and that is something that they've obviously been working on. You can see it there. Lerma's like Jermain pointed out, he's got to get closer into there, so as then when this ball goes round the corner, he can engage Ben Smith. He doesn't do that, and then it's a very easy goal from there. So much time, so much space, and they got punished for that. They got punished for it today, Bournemouth, because Arsenal are being more ruthless. They're taking the opportunities to put teams away if they get the opportunity.
It's way too easy defending. It's like unopposed. They get into areas, and like I said before about Lerma, at some stage you've got to sense danger. You've got to get close to people, stop them from crossing, and it just seemed too easy. And like we said before, it could have been a lot more. I mean, you see here, Lerma's got him. You pass him on, okay, fair enough, and then it's strange because he points there. It's more like he wanted him to go with a runner, but he has to go with a runner. That's your man. You go.
And then you see there though, Jay. Once he goes, then Pearson has got to be more aware of Odegaard, who's just standing in the box on his own. So there's a lot of mistakes there for Fulham, but what you saw was an Arsenal team that were very ruthless today.
That's a good point. I mean, clinical, seven goals in the last 2 games alone, something perhaps they weren't doing 12 months ago.
They didn't.
Because this Arsenal team are going to create chances. The way they play, they're going to get into areas where they're going to score goals. So it's a case of just being ruthless. When you get the chances, take it. And they scored 2 goals within 13 minutes, and after that, then you gain control, and then you can play.
At your tempo, yeah.
At your tempo, Bournemouth in second gear, really, because Bournemouth made it way too easy. I said before, I thought they would be aggressive from the start on the front foot, played in like a medium block, and then from then it was too late.
So we know where the goal threat comes from, and you want more players in the box. However, William Saliba, he's had a terrific start to his career. Had only ever scored 1 goal in his life before today. Then the stage was his.
What a great goal, for a centre half on the edge of the box, on his weaker foot. Again, look at Arsenal, you see how many players they've got in the box. Once this comes out here, you're feeling like, who's he going to cut it back to? To be honest, I wasn't expecting it to be him there, but that, like we said, Jay, he's just helping that on. It's a beautiful help on. He's not tried to slash at it. He's not tried to, like take the laces off of it. You know what I mean? He's just just seen it come across, and he's just guided. Look at that. Guide. Brilliant goal. Goal of a striker, and it's great because the Arsenal fans have got a new song for him, and he's just given them that so as they could carry on singing. It's like an earworm for me now. What a great goal.
Seeing the whole show.
Brilliant.
In terms of the defending, Bournemouth defended it right. As it comes into the box there's no contact. The box is full with red shirts. There's no contact, goes to the back post. The ball gets cut back. Surely now, when the ball gets cut back, right, someone go and engage and try and block. He probably could have took a touch. And he's just, like Wright said, just helped it on right into the top corner like he scores goals every week.
And for any Arsenal fans who haven't heard it, how's it go, the song?
It's like a tequila, but obviously Saliba. It's a great song.
But listen, we talked about the two Premier League winners coming into the dressing room. We talked about Jesus and Zinchenko. Watch Zinchenko's reaction when Saliba scores this.
There
Watch him.
There, look.
Look at that.
I thought he probably used to seeing that every week. I can't believe it.
Surprised.
Do you know
imagine though? Because
he's weak of foot, that's why.
That's his weak of foot. You know, he's a centre half. He's coming up. You know, he's like 21.
He's what he's done.
He starts his Premier League career as being amazing, and now he's seen him do that. Look, he can't believe it. It's brilliant.
I'm going home.
That's brilliant.
And if you're watching your goal back and you just scored that, and you see one of your teammates do that,
I would love it. But that's, brilliant. I mean, that reaction is brilliant. Like I said, he was probably used to seeing it every week and that. But the fact that it's one of those ones. Maybe he was surprised that he scored. But no, it was a top finish and
beautiful
and an overall good Arsenal performance.
And the fact he's played 3 games, William Saliba, and he's got his own song, does that say everything about the impact he's made?
I think so, yeah. I think we've been waiting for him to come. A lot of people wanted him to come a lot earlier, especially with the problems Arsenal had at centre-back last season. And so, you know, you have to say it again, Mikel and his staff have got to take a lot of credit for letting him go out again. He's now, like I say, a full French international. He's shown in 3 games, and again, you can't get too excited. He's shown in 3 games as a 21-year-old, the composure and everything that's that, you know, the winning of tackles, the duels, everything, and now scoring goals as well. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's good, and I think sometimes, you know, clubs have got to take credit for, like, you know, in terms of like recruitment, bringing the right players in. Can they play the right way, right mentality? 21 years old, you know, got to a fantastic start, and confidence is massive, you know, in a winning team, you know, not conceding goals, and get on the end of one.
OK, well, we just showed you Alexander Zinchenko's reaction to William Saliba's goal. Let's hear from the man himself.
Judging by your reaction to the 3rd goal, Saliba's finish took you by surprise, did it?
Oh my God, this guy is incredible, honestly. He's unbelievable. So I wish him to keep going like that, and then honestly, I'm not the guy who's going to judge him, but looks like he's got unbelievable experience, you know, behind him, and he's incredible, honestly. I wish him to keep going, and then we will see what's going to happen.
Very well played today, Alex.
Thank you.
Thank you ever so much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Genuine high praise that from the man himself.
Well, yeah, and we're talking about somebody who's, for the last 4 or 5 years, we've seen the calibre of player he's been around, so it is high praise, and like I said, that's not an easy finish. You can see he's surprised, but at the same time, you know, the way that Saliba's come in and, you know, he's under a lot of pressure in respects of Arsenal's defence and making sure that he can fit in there, you know, and he's done it, you know, and like he sees him probably every day and he's seeing great stuff, and then now him seeing that goal, he's probably thinking to himself, oh my gosh, what next? You know, it's brilliant, it's exciting, it's brilliant.
It's nice, it's good, especially younger players. When you first come into a football club, you want to, of course, you want to impress the fans and the manager, but at the same time, you want to impress the players that are around you. And obviously, when you see an interview like that, your teammates saying those sort of things about you, I'm telling you, it's massive for young players. It brings so much confidence because, yeah, it's important to impress everyone else, but first and foremost, you know, you got to impress your teammates, and you know that's brilliant.
Well said. OK, here are the thoughts of the Arsenal manager, Mikel Arteta.
Mikel, wow. I mean, particularly the first half, first 15 minutes, you just absolutely dominated and scored 2 great goals.
Yes, we expected a very difficult game from the beginning, the way they came out against Aston Villa here in the first game. They were really dominant, really aggressive. We wanted to avoid that type of game. We imposed ourselves in the game. We were really efficient in ball possession. We were really efficient in the box when we scored the 2 goals. And then obviously the game, that gave us a lot of confidence to go through the game.
The touch, the turn, the run from Gabriel Jesus that led to the first goal was just absolutely top class.
Yeah, that's something that you don't train. That's individual talent. He's got that. He's playing with such a confidence. He was involved again in 2 of the 3 goals. I'm really happy. His contribution to the team has been phenomenal.
no one really expects that from a 20-year-old centre-half, William Saliba. I mean, I think he'd scored once for Nice last season. That was it in his senior career. That's a great goal.
But he's training every day to improve in every area, and the boxes is one area that he can still improve, and he's so eager and so willing to do it and so humble at the same time. I'm delighted. I think he's performing really, really well.
Just one quick question about Zinchenko, if I can, because we know Man City's fullbacks often end up playing as sort of midfielders, and Zinchenko plays like a roaming fullback, and that means that Granit Xhaka has to play a slightly different role, and it's working very well at the moment.
I think it's working well, and those relationships that are building, they are really natural. It flows in the right way, and people can occupy different spaces, which makes it more difficult for the opponent to pick it up. And we need to continue. There's still a lot of things that we have to do better.
Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it. Thank you.
And they do continue with Fulham, Villa, and then Manchester United. But they've got momentum at the moment, which is important at the start of a campaign.
Yeah, and I think that, you look at the start, Palace and Leicester, they don't look like easy games away, Palace away, it could have been a tricky one like Brentford was, and then Leicester at home, it's always a tough one, but Arsenal seem to get through. But then the way they've started with the Bournemouth, I fancied them to get something from Bournemouth today, and Fulham is brilliant because Fulham has started fantastically. So that's another test they're going to come up against, another test that someone like Saliba is going to come up against. Mitrovic, who's on fire at the moment, Villa not playing well, and then, Man United, we don't know what we're going to get. So you look at those games, and if I'm in that dressing room, I'm probably quite excited about all those games to come because of the confidence that the team are displaying at the minute.
As players as well, when you're playing well and everything's going well, you're not conceding goals, you can't wait till the next game.
Don't even care.
You can't wait till the next game. Doesn't matter who you play against, you just want the next one to come around quick so you can, just continue and, bring that to the next game, that next form and that. And like you said, you fancy anyone, when you're playing like that. The boys are confident, scoring a lot of goals, on to the next.
Talking of confidence, you heard Mikel Arteta say there, Gabriel Jesus is full of confidence. I just wonder, you two have been in that situation. When you're at a club and you're not playing as often as you'd like, even though he was at the top club, he's now the main man at this club. What does that do to your personality, to your overall confidence?
Honestly, it goes through the roof. It's like, going to Arsenal and then, coming from Palace, going to Arsenal, having to prove a lot to people that, yes, I can be the main striker here. And then actually getting there and doing it, you do feel like I could literally do anything on here. I feel like I could finish from anywhere because you get a confidence and a quality of player behind you that then believe in you as well and what you're capable of doing that makes you feel like you're 10 foot tall. It's like you can feel that now with him. Like he said, he loved it at City, but he's come somewhere where he's a leader in the dressing room. He's leading by example, and that's what we're seeing. He's leading by example in the way he is, the way he speaks in his interviews, and the way he's playing. It's just like, it takes you to another level in respect to the confidence you have.
It takes off a lot of pressure as well, to be honest, because if he performed like that at City, he might not play the next game.
He probably wouldn't in some cases.
Exactly. So, and I think at City, he probably thought, I have to score in every game. And then you get chances, you might snatch at chances, or you're so desperate to score because you feel like you have to score because I might not play the next game. Whereas now, he knows, right, I'm the main man. If I get a chance and if I miss, no problem, I'll go again. And then he knows he's going to play the next game. And that's so important for a striker.
Yeah, and he just seems to feel more loved, doesn't he? Because of that.
Yeah, but look, we can only look at the fact that City is so stacked. And when he first came to City and he scored goals and he looked a little bit like that, he looked very sharp. Because obviously he's come in at a time where he's thinking, I'm going to come in and at some stage I'm going to replace Aguero. So he started like that. But what he's realised, just like Dzeko before him, I saw Dzeko score 4 goals and not playing the next game. So what he's realised very quickly is that, you could score 2 goals, you could play like he's played today, and you still won't play next week. That's demoralising. And, that's why him going to Arsenal, like Jermain rightly said, even if he doesn't score, he's set up another 2 today. But we know that come the next Arsenal game, he will be starting. And he knows that. Yeah. So he's on a whole different level in respect of his mind and what he's thinking, because he knows he's going to get chances as well.
So much positivity around Arsenal again today, though, but another difficult day at the office for Bournemouth and their manager, Scott Parker.
Scott, another challenging afternoon against a top-quality side. What are your thoughts on what you saw?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, a very good side. First half was really unacceptable from us in many ways, really. We needed to have a bit of humility about us in terms of understanding the dynamics of the game and what we was up against. And I felt in terms of our general body language, in terms of our general dynamics of what we need to bring the game, I thought we was nowhere near it. And really, without that, when you're a team like us, playing against a team with huge quality, look, there's no disgrace in losing to Arsenal when you're in that sense. But what is not acceptable is the first half in terms of the way we went about it, really, and I was very disappointed. Second half, of course, we came out. There was a reaction, but 45 minutes in this division to come out like we did in the first half is not enough. And really, we need to understand, and the players will understand that.
Why do you feel that was? Because in many ways, this was set up to be an opportunity to Bournemouth to show what you were about against a side like this.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure at this present moment in time, Craig. I'm not sure. I didn't expect to see in the first half what I see. If there was one thing I expected my team to show was her humility in that sense. I expected them to show a certain ingredient which we didn't show, and it was far too easy in terms of recovery runs, in terms of getting back into shape, in terms of understanding the quality of what we're playing against and how that game may look. I thought we struggled, and that was down to our desire to do that. And exactly that. There's a bit of learning, some big learning to do regarding this game, which is a good thing. Massive thing for me, certainly, but we need to learn from that.
We'll come to that point in a moment. That said, how do you defend against a player of the quality of Gabriel Jesus in the form he's in?
Well, that's what you're going to face. So, again, can accept that, can accept the huge quality of what Jesus brings and other members of their team. We can always accept, I can certainly accept the quality of when the levels we're going up to. These players have bits of brilliance. What wasn't acceptable in the first half was just our general commitment in terms of understanding that, really, and that was disappointing.
So at half-time, you make a double change of shape. How at that stage did you feel you could get a foothold back in the game?
Well, just tried to commit another man on up higher on the pitch. Went back to where we were a little bit last year. Thought it'd bring some fresh legs in and try and get some pressure higher up on the pitch. And mainly at half-time, as much as there was some tactical elements and a change of shape, more to the message was in terms of our endeavour, in terms of how it may look. When you play against a team like Arsenal, Liverpool, whoever they may be in this division, sometimes it's not perfect, and sometimes, however that may look, but what needs to be perfect is our commitment to it and our commitment to understand that, really. And like I said, second half there was that. Still loads of things which we wasn't happy with, but certainly we tried to commit a little bit.
Now you took off.
Very honest, Scott Parker there. Difficult run of games, of course. Manchester City, Arsenal today, Liverpool away next. But he didn't hold back there. The first half, unacceptable.
He was honest, and that's players, that hurts. The players will watch that back, and they will know anyway. But the players will watch that back and see the manager say that because, listen, Bournemouth are not going to go toe-to-toe with the top teams. It was always going to be a difficult play against Arsenal. But I think first and foremost, what you bring is application. You run, you chase, you get close to people, and what you do is you stop Arsenal from getting in their rhythm and playing because that's what they're good at. But for the manager to say that, it must hurt us players, and you'd want a reaction, not just the next game, but in training, you'd want a reaction. The leaders in the change rooms, keep the boys together. Still early days, of course. Second half was better, a slight positive. But overall, the first half was unacceptable. So not really getting close to anyone. The goals were easy, and not having a shot on goal, not getting at your own half at home. So it's a lot of negatives.
He didn't really have an explanation.
He didn't. No, because what we saw against Villa is like what we said at the start of this game. It's going to be tough, and so what these players have got to understand is that the Arsenal players will have seen the Villa game. They're at home. They're going to probably start like that. So then when you got your manager who comes out and says, I don't know what's happened, the effort, this and that, the Arsenal players will be just as surprised that they've got time and space. And all of a sudden you can see the Arsenal players in every junction, every place on that pitch, were getting time and space on the ball. Good players, with that kind of time, they're going to hurt you. They weren't getting back into shape properly, and so Arsenal passing through them, and then obviously the brilliance from Jesus, they scored a goal, and that's what you need. When you come away from home, you score that goal, you settle down even more. And then they come out and then you pick them off again, and that's what Arsenal done in 11 minutes. And then before you know what's going on, Scott Parker, the game's literally over for them. And like Jermain said there, it come down to effort and application. because that's what you have to do against these teams, and that's what Bournemouth are going to have to do. And we thought they were going to do that. That's what they've done against Villa. And of course, the standard of the player is better, but you've got to force that player out of his comfort zone. So as he doesn't play that comfortably, so as then you might get a mistake out of him, you might nick it, and then you can then turn it on Arsenal. So then all of a sudden they're starting to think, oh my gosh, this Bournemouth are at it today, we've got to get it. But they don't get into their stride.
But that's
they
the
didn't
problem.
do it.
But that was the problem, right? When they got the ball back, there wasn't enough quality. You know, you work all week in training, and you know you play a low block, and it looks like, okay, we're going to try and hit them on a counter attack when they get bodies forward. But you get the ball back, and you can't get to free passes. Not enough quality. So I'm sure the manager will be frustrated by that.
Gentlemen, thank you very much indeed. Tough day for Bournemouth, but a very good day for Arsenal, and indeed for Spurs. North London all round smiling after this Premier League Saturday. From the three of us, we'll see you soon.